Hello everybody, my name is Terrence Coyne, and this is my submission for NPC and item. Right here we have my Trello board. Here is my NPC. Name is Boom Boom. Got my description, attachments for the scripts, as well as a picture of them, as well as a link to my design documents. I also have all of my checklist information, and that's about it for that. Then moving on, we have my NPC Trello card. So right here, item I made was binoculars, and the idea is that when the NPC sees the binoculars, it will pick them up, and upon picking up the binoculars, its range via raycast is going to double. So how far it can see is going to double. So I also have attached the scripts for it, image, as well as a link to the document. And then I have my checklist and all. Moving on, we have our documents. So right here, I have my document for the Boom Boom and targeting type. So what he does, he targets somebody via raycast. He is a bomb. Basically, the idea behind this NPC is that he's spinning around in a circle and looking for the player, or also the item. If he sees the item he can see within a 30 unit range. Normally he only has a 15 unit range for his visual raycast. With the item he has a unit 30 visual range, so he can see the player from further away. And the idea is he sees the player, moves to the player, and then destroys himself. And in a functional game, the player itself would have some sort of a damage addition for taking that hit. So, found in areas like mountains and deserts. The event triggers, detection range, collision range, things like that. Interacts with the player and binoculars. Behavior explodes. And then moving on to the item, we have the binoculars. Got an image down here at the bottom. And so you got all your behavior information, what it is, an item. When picked up by the Boom Boom, doubles their visual range. Both NPC and item have prefabs made for them. If we go to Unity, this is my scene and game. So just right now I'm going to show you a quick demonstration. So I'm going to hit the play, and when it sees the binoculars, which are the first thing on the scene, it moves to them. Then when it sees the player, it moves to the player. Upon collision with the player, it destroys itself. So for the scripts for how this works, right here is the binocular script. It's the shorter one, so I'm going to start with that. So all it really is a call to the item tag, that for what it is, and then a on trigger enter. So and when it collides with the NPC, it destroys itself. So, or rather, when the NPC hits it, it destroys itself. And then over here we have our NPC controller. And so you got your calls for the tag for the player, call for rigid body, bool for the binoculars. So this right here is the bool to see if it has the binoculars or not. If it has the binoculars, then moving down to here, if he has the binoculars equals true, and he's hit the player, and the hit collider for the raycast has hit the player, then it's going to increase the unit range to 30, and then at that point it will also move the NPC towards the player. If not, if it is a false, that is an else-if statement, and it simply continues as normal. Then we have the void on trigger enter for when the NPC collides with the player, it destroys itself. The idea again being that the NPC itself is a living bomb, so when it hits the player, it blows up, destroys itself. And then down here we also have the tag for the NPC item, as well as a debug log for the binoculars picked up, and the true boolean. Then over here in my scene, something that we can do to demonstrate the effectiveness is if I place a wall in front of the player, the NPC will not target off of it. So it will see the item, pick it up, and then it'll just continue spinning in a circle because it cannot see the player because the player is behind the wall. Once I move the wall, NPC sees the player immediately and goes right to it. So in here in the assets folder, so assets, coin, Terrence, and then I have my prefabs here. So I have the binoculars prefab, which all it is, little thing that looks like binoculars with the binoculars script attached to it. NPC prefab has all the scripts and stuff on it that it needs. So it's literally just drag and drop into the scene. In order for the binoculars to work, you do need to have them in the scene. If you do not place binoculars in the scene, then the NPC operates as normally, just without binoculars. So whether or not you choose to place them in the scene, the NPC still functions fully as normal. I will give a demonstration of that now by deleting these binoculars right here. So now, when I play the scene, it will continue to operate as normally. In this case, the player is within range, so it's going to go straight to the player. And there you go. So everything is fully functional, everything is fully working, and that is all I have for you. Hope you have a wonderful day, and signing off.